It's Red Eye Radio. Gary McNamara and Eric Harley talk about everything from politics to social issues and news of the day. Whether you're up late or you're just starting your day, welcome to the show. From the Uniden America Studios, this is Red Eye Radio.
All across America, we are Red Eye Radio. He is Eric Harley and I'm Gary McNamara. Welcome and good morning. Happy St. Paddy's Day. Everyone is a woke Irish person today.
Nope.
I said woke Irish person. I said woke. I couldn't say Irish man or Irish men.
No, there are Irish women, too.
Oh, my gosh.
It's true.
And that's about it. Now here's the poll over the weekend, the NBC poll that's causing all the hype and hoopla, as it should. Democrats polled the lowest they ever have in the NBC poll.
Yeah.
Just a quarter of registered voters say they have a positive view of the party, which is the party's lowest positive rating, dating back to NBC News polling, which goes back to 1990. 7% say they're very positive about the Democrats. Said Democratic pollster Jeff Horwitz of Hart Research Associates. With these numbers, the Democratic Party is not in need of a rebrand. It needs to be rebooted. The slump is driven by fed-up Democrats, according to the polling data, after they watched their party lose to Trump in 2024, and now in a reversal from Trump's first term. Self-identified Democrats say they want their party to hold the line on their positions, even if it leads to gridlock, rather than focus on finding areas of compromise with the president. The poll illustrates the angst within the party, driving backlash against Senate Democrats, including Chuck Schumer, who sided with Republicans on Friday on the procedural vote to advance a GOP-designed spending bill and avert a government shutdown. When Donald Trump wakes up in the morning and says, "You're doing the right things, Senate Democrats," we don't feel like that's the right place to be, said Representative Pete Aguilar of California, the House Democratic Caucus chair.
It's just eating them alive. This is just greatness. Just greatness.
Back in April of 2017, 59% of Democrats said they wanted congressional Democrats to make compromises with Trump. Now, 65% say they want congressional Democrats to stick to their positions, even if it risks sacrificing bipartisan progress. And only 32% of Democrats want to make legislative compromises with Trump.
Yeah.
I agree.
You agree?
I agree with Democrats. I agree with the 65%. I think that congressional Democrats should stick to all the positions that they have held over the last 4 years and double and triple down on them and try to get themselves even past the one poll that showed 21% approval. I think Democrats, if they can continue on this and continue with what they wish to do, which I agree with, can get down below 10%.
Well, they may be Mayor Brandon. It could be a new record.
Come on, congressional Democrats. You can get to Mayor Brandon's numbers.
Come on.
Of 6.6%.
Right.
Favorability in New York.
Right.
But wait, seriously. I said New York. Chicago. If Brandon Johnson only has a 6.6 favorability rating in Chicago, the Democrats nationwide can beat that.
Oh, sure. They just need to try harder. But here's my problem with that. I mean, I agree with you, but it's so much fun watching them just collapse like it happened over the weekend.
Well, that's what I mean, though. If they do this, they'll continue to collapse.
Well, no, I mean, their ratings will collapse, but
they did end up
when
agreeing.
When you have Schumer and a handful of them going along with Trump, agreeing with Trump. It's so much more entertaining for it to happen that way. Look, we've been saying it for years. Own it. Don't give up the fight. This is something that we knew was going to happen because we saw Jon Stewart on the Daily Show taking on Schumer, and which is interesting because Jon Stewart, I think, is friends with comedian Amy Schumer, who is cousins with Chuck Schumer. Mm-hmm. But it was bound to happen. The establishment Democrat, look, Schumer was doing a Biden, right? Which way is radical? Over that way. Okay, I'll go that way.
No.
How many genders are there, Joe? 3. Oh, wrong answer.
No, you had the best analysis, and everyone that I told, I gave you credit for this analysis.
What's that?
You gave on Friday's show.
What's that? That
Chuck Schumer, again, put the cheese on the burger before the burger was cooked.
Well, that's a classic Schumer move. You can't lay down the cheese too soon in anything you do.
Which he did the first day by saying, I don't want it.
He laid down the cheese too early.
Yeah, because he said, I don't want it. Then he said, okay, I do want it.
In fact,
and that changes what killed the whole thing.
I question if the grill was even turned on at that point. Did you lay down the cheese before the grill was even on?
Every one of my buddies, I said, this is Eric's analysis the other day of how this happened. How, why did he say it one day? Well, because it's Schumer. He always puts the cheese on the burger before the burger's cooked.
He lays down the cheese too soon.
It's like, did he really say that? I go, yeah, he said it. It was great.
And
I'm still laughing.
But that's who, that's the thing. That he doesn't know where to go. They have to tell him where to go, like what Jon Stewart was saying on the Daily Show. It's like, it doesn't help that you've got those tiny little readers at the end of your nose that you're looking over while you're shouting whatever they were shouting. I forget. They were shouting, we will not give up, blah, 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 whatever. But
and then he thought that this is the words he used, by calling the Republicans bastards.
Right.
That's a quote.
Right.
That, okay, I'll get some of my street cred back.
See, I'll just use a curse word.
Did you see the media's picking up on the Democrats cursing?
Yeah, I did see that.
I saw that over the weekend. They're picking up going, why is everybody cursing? What's going on here?
Because it is the new – look, you've got to – again, this is a virtue signaling contest, okay? I've got to seem angrier than the other guys, even the ones on my side. I've got to be angrier than anybody else. I'm the boss. Nobody's as angry as me. Right. AOC does the bouncing up and down thing, which is weird. What's wrong with you? Decaf, would you?
Oh.
I mean, it's just strange.
I'm sorry, I've got to read this again because it really, really it shows you the real problems that they have. And it was when I read the first headline about AOC.
Yeah.
Not AOC. What's her name? My congressperson.
Oh, Crockett.
Crockett. Where Crockett came out and it was like the here it is, the headline here. It's just, I burst out laughing because it's like, if you're in this place right now, you're dead as a political party. Representative Jasmine Crockett hits back at critics of Democrats' public antics. I'm like, wonder what this story is about, because I didn't know when I first saw that. Representative Jasmine Crockett, Democrat of Texas, hit back at criticisms of the Democrats' viral Choose Your Fighter video. This came out yesterday on the 16th. I saw that. I burst out laughing, saying, you got to let that, you should have never mentioned it again after that came out.
Right. Why are you bringing this back up?
But she hit back at criticisms of the Democrats' viral Choose Your Fighter video during an interview on CNN on Sunday, arguing it was important for Americans to see that they are real people. Well, I mean, I want to laugh again, but I've laughed so hard today on the show. I need to give my my throat a little bit of a rest here.
Mm-hmm.
But if that's the place where you're at CNN, if that's the substance, if that's a major, point that the anchor's bringing up that you feel you have to answer, you're dead.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, seriously.
Oh, my God. And she said, CNN host Jake Tapper asked Crockett about Fetterman, who mocked the video along with other online critics. In response, she fired back with a personal attack on Fetterman. He's not the one talking. He's not the one to talk about anything. I mean, this is a guy that doesn't seemingly want to own a suit. I'm not really sure, but I don't show up in hoodies when I'm going on the floor, she said, explaining that an influencer asked her to do the video. When she asked me to jump, I said, did you ask my older colleagues to do this? Because I feel like you're picking on me because you think my knees are a little younger, and I did not know who was all in this particular trend whatsoever, and I think it's important that people see us, that we're real people, end of quote. What the hell does that even mean? Yeah. I don't even know what I said there. Yeah. I read it and go, I don't even know what I'm reading.
Yeah.
I mean, this is how lost they are.
Yeah.
They're talking about a dancing video.
Right. Crockett is one of those who wants to be known for being her. She wants to be a star. She wants to be a TikTok star. She doesn't care anything about the people of her district.
If
I know she doesn't care about you.
No, she doesn't care about me. People don't know. She's my congressperson. She should do something of substance and see if she can move her district just 3 blocks over.
Yes.
And then I'm in the Republican district.
Right. Come on.
By the way, it was redistricting back a couple of years ago that put me in her district.
Mm-hmm.
I was in a Republican district before.
Yeah. My district is all over the place. Seriously.
I looked at mine the other day, the 30th in Texas. You see it. It's gerrymandered all over the place.
No, yeah. If I go 3 weeks, if I stretch while I'm yawning in the morning when I wake up, my right hand is in a Democratic district. It's just weird. But they don't care about the issues. She's proud of that video. And remember, that was the second dancing video.
Yeah, she did one the day before, didn't she?
Yeah. That was just her.
It was just her and the people she worked with.
Right. But it was there were no other reps that were on
She was dancing
on the
down,
video.
Remember, she started in the office and she was dancing down the hallway.
Yeah. And, using the excuse, well, we want to seem like we're real people. Real people don't do that. They just don't. That's what you're missing. Cringe people do that.
If you're trying to put on a performance to act as if you're a real person, you're not a real person.
That's clue number 1. That you have to say, hey, somebody record this.
I'm acting real.
Right. Now, what we'll do is let me plan out how I'm going to act real in this video. Anyone got any ideas on how to act real? Because I'd like to do that in the video.
Anybody have ideas? Well, there was this one episode of Seinfeld where Elaine danced.
Yeah, exactly. If you could do that.
Then you'd be a real person.
And make it go viral for all the wrong reasons. I mean, holy cow, man.
My gosh, she's attacking Fetterman,
Right.
everybody, AOC and everybody else going after Schumer. Schumer is hitting back, calling people the B word. I mean, it's just...
Look, if you're still using the hoodie thing, if you're a Democrat and using the hoodie thing against Fetterman, you're in deep. There's no way to go. Well, I would say there's no way to go deeper, but it's only Monday. There might be a way.
Only we on the other side can call Fetterman a slob.
That's right.
You don't get to call him a slob.
We own that one.
He's on your team.
That's right. Exactly. Yeah, you weren't complaining before, were you? Yeah, no, this is it's and it goes beyond also the lack of self-awareness. I mean, I don't know how to categorize it because it is so cringy and awkward.
You know what I was waiting for?
Hmm.
I haven't seen it yet.
Hmm.
No Democrat calling Schumer an old white man.
Oh, yeah. Well,
I was waiting for that one, though.
Hey,
it's
again,
amazing. It's amazing since I practice identity politics what you wait for.
No, yeah.
It's like, oh, Schumer's going.
No, they're
going to hit him and say he's an old white man.
Exactly. We don't need this old white man leading the party.
Bring up the race. Bring up the race. Bring up the race. Come
Yeah,
on. We know you can do it.
Come on. It's Monday morning. Make it happen.
You're built on identity politics.
Yes,
Come on.
That's right. Come on. Make it happen.
866-90 Red Eye.
This morning's USDA Farm Report is brought to you by House Products. Tested, trusted, guaranteed since 1920.
Getting the flower or plant garden ready for spring? Perhaps to assist, consider looking back to last year. Elizabeth Dobagini of Kansas State University explains.
If last fall or last summer your plants were struggling, if you were seeing spots on the stems or the leaves or stunted growth, it's something that's just irregular, something you weren't expecting to see, there's a reason for that.
While she acknowledges a myriad of factors could be behind that,
Not enough sunlight, the planting location may not have been ideal.
discolored leaves from last year's plants could be an indication of.
Nutrient deficiencies or even toxicities.
Domangini recommends testing your soil for potential issues. As for possible pest or disease threats,
Examine the soil, looking for egg cases, things like that in the soil, on the underside of the leaves.
I'm Rod Bain reporting for the U.S. Department of Agriculture in Washington, D.C.
This report brought to you by Cenex Fuels and Lubes.
Get in touch with Red Eye Radio, toll free at 866-90 Red Eye.
It's Red Eye Radio. He's Eric Harley, and I'm Gary McNamara. Just looking at this one post on X here. Exclusive. This just happened on stage in front of 6,000 Bostonians at the Dropkick Murphys concert. This is America. No kings here. In referring to Trump and Musk.
Yeah. All right.
You know, that's another thing. I mean, they won't drop that. They're trying to make the case that somehow Trump and Elon Musk are somehow not part of the republic or an elected representative to the government.
Yeah.
Where everybody knows they're wrong. I mean, this is the same thing as calling Elon Musk a Nazi when he's the opposite. His political views are completely opposite, as we explained earlier, of Nazism. And the same thing here. Trump is the elected president of the United States. Democrats, are you that stupid or are you that intellectually bankrupt where you have to keep promoting something that obviously everybody knows is not true? Trump is elected and he can appoint people to do what he wishes them to do. Democrats, what's so tough about that? That isn't hard to figure out.
Nope. And the video circulating of Obama making, basically an announcement back then of what could be called his version of DOGE back then on government efficiency.
Yes.
That one's circulating everywhere.
Where they said, it was a third of, wasn't Medicaid, it was a third of Medicaid. No, it was a third of something they said they could cut.
Right.
I got to find the audio.
Yeah.
I'll find it here.
You're listening to Red Eye Radio from the Uniden America Studios.
And he's Eric Harley, and I'm Gary McNamara. Welcome and good morning. Thanks so much for being here. Here it is. And it's Joe Biden speaking in 2010 with Obama right next to him.
All right.
So it's Vice President Joe Biden with Obama next to him, Nancy Pelosi on the other side of him, talking about what can be cut from Medicare. Now, think about this, because you and I remember this. There wasn't a peep.
Nope.
Nothing.
Nope.
From Democrats at all when Biden made the case that 1/3 of Medicare is wasted, and that's what they have to target.
Mm-hmm.
Now, as we know, what do you take out of Medicare? $700 billion in order to fund
Right. Over $700 billion.
out of Obamacare, and again, not a peep from Democrats.
No.
Here this is. Here we go.
Everybody also agrees, I got from this morning, but I think we had before, that we waste a heck of a lot of money, and that somewhere around 1/3 of all the dollars we spend on Medicare goes for nothing useful. We're not cutting Medicare benefits in this. We're trying to eliminate 1/3 of the problem that's a waste, and this is a big entitlement. It's a big entitlement. Medicare, it exists. We got to figure out how to keep it from bankrupting the country without denying seniors what they're entitled to.
Just cognitively speaking, what a difference in 10
Yeah,
years.
it's
because I go
light
from
years.
2010 to 2020 when you
Right.
could see the noticeable difference. But
Yeah.
when you see that, that's when you really, really know. But that's one thing that Republicans are doing effectively, and I think it's something that they should continue, because that went viral over the weekend.
Yeah.
As you know, because that's immediately to attack what the Democrats are saying, that when Democrats are in power and they propose massive cuts, they never go through with them. But when maybe that's why they get no objection.
Well,
they never followed through on them.
Yeah.
So, but they recognize what was Biden lying? Was Biden lying there? Is there 1/3 of Medicare to be cut that's wasted? You know, if Trump said that, every network would be going ballistic.
Well, no, I mean, they would be fact-checking it to no end.
Yeah.
But here's the problem. In their fact-checking, they actually have to lie. You know, this is the problem, that you have. But thank goodness people can do their own fact-checking.
Well, one of the things you need to do as a political party, you need to unite people based on where you stand on the issues, and they're doing that. You also have to keep promoting, and they're doing that on some issues, not as much as I'd like, but on this one, and this and a couple others, I think they're doing great. That went viral over the weekend.
Yeah.
And you want that to go viral, because there it is. And you've got everybody sitting there, Nancy, Obama, and Biden, that 1/3 of Medicare is wasted.
Yeah.
You're making the point of what DOGE is stating, that there's a heck of a lot of waste out there. We need to go after the waste. And so when Democrats object, you just play that. When Democrats object, you play that again. You play that again. You play that again. You play that again. Same thing on the filibuster, but Senator Sinema was doing that successfully. Former.
Yeah.
Yeah. Former now? No.
No, she's still in
senator.
office. Yeah.
Okay, I'm thinking of Gallego for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
But Sinema just going after AOC and Jayapal and everything else. You're a bunch of hypocrites, on this. It was beautiful to watch. And that's the thing you have to do. You have to continue to market not only where you're successful and to unify people behind you on the issues, you need to attack the other side to show their blatant hypocrisy, to keep pounding on the fact that Democrats stand for nothing. It was interesting because that's been said over the last couple of weeks from Democrats. What do we stand for? We don't stand for anything.
Right.
So when you set that table and you're attacking the other party saying they don't stand for anything, and then you bring up their blatant hypocrisy where they will take one side, but then change their mind completely if it doesn't fit their particular narrative, which you can prove that they don't stand, because you're setting the table that they don't stand for anything. They're hypocrites.
Yeah.
So what do they want? They just want power.
Yeah. No, Sinema's no longer in office. It's Gallego and the former Tesla owner.
Yeah, Kelly, right.
Kelly
That's right. I thought it was,
yeah.
because Sinema was attacking.
Yeah.
She was going after everybody.
Right.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm sorry.
remember,
Yeah.
I mean, it's
Duh. Yeah,
she couldn't. In fact, her own
Yeah.
party, shoved her into the corner. She couldn't. Like a number of Democrats, you have to go along to get along. I really don't know what Mark Kelly believes. I know how he's voted.
Well, now
I know where he stands on the issues.
Well, now, and it's amazing because he's been out at space and seen vulnerable Mother Earth, and now he is promoting killing the Earth.
Yeah, exactly.
God, I love that. He couldn't have done. He thought he actually thought, I'm going to show him. I'm going to make a statement. And then he just got blasted. You're killing the Earth. Why are you killing the Earth?
Right.
They can't win.
And someone pointed out that Elon Musk's space company actually is the one going to rescue the two people that were stuck in space that I'm sure Mark Kelly would agree needed to be brought home.
and nobody defended Biden when it came out, about 10 days ago? That even the astronauts were saying no. Biden specifically nixed and said, no, I don't want Elon Musk rescuing you.
Right.
No, but that story only went in one direction.
Right.
You never had something that never happened. I never heard that. Did you?
No.
If it did, I never saw it.
And I'm sure Biden would blame it on the auto pen.
Well, we'll get to that in a moment here. I have an auto pen story here. Another one. But when you think about that with all the criticism, and then in the meantime, and somebody was pointing out, they said very little on CNN, ABC, NBC, CBS about going up and rescuing the astronauts because they can't do it because Elon Musk gets credit for it.
Right.
But it's all over social media. You cannot not know that it's happening.
Exactly. It's too big to ignore.
And so that's sitting there in the background where people are seeing this. You're criticizing Elon Musk, and it's his rocket.
Yeah.
It's his spacecraft getting these people back when Biden couldn't do it. I mean, the message is just it's just boom when you see it.
Mm-hmm.
But then you see this. The Biden auto pen scandal is growing by the day. A second Biden auto pen has been discovered by the Oversight Project. This is the Heritage Foundation.
Mm-hmm.
The Oversight Project discovered that there was a second frequently used auto pen signature for Joe Biden's pardons and commutations. Auto pen A and auto pen B have slight differences in the signatures. Analysis by the Oversight Project reveals that out of the 51 clemency warrants issued by Biden, 16 were signed with auto pen A, 16 were signed with auto pen B, and 19 appear to be wet signatures. That means he wrote them.
Right.
Per the Oversight Project, the Biden White House issued 51 clemency warrants in 4 years. 4,245 people received clemency during the Biden administration. This includes 37 of the most brutal murderers on federal death row, a person who murdered 2 FBI agents, 2 people who provided military support for Iran, Dr. Fauci, General Milley, the January 6th committee, members of the Biden family, and hundreds of drug dealers. Every warrant in this group was signed with an auto pen. They notice there's a subtle difference between auto pen A and auto pen B. Auto pen A has a bigger space between the P and the H in Joseph than auto pen B. As previously reported, the Oversight Project has gathered every document they could find with Biden's signature. All use the same auto pen signature, except the announcement that he was dropping out of the 2024 election. The New York Post dropped a bombshell after the Oversight Project revealed nearly every document Joe Biden signed used the same auto pen. According to New York Post, Steve Nelson, a key Biden aide, may have exceeded their authority by unilaterally determining what documents to robo-sign.
By the way, the signature that they say was actual wet signature about him dropping out of the race match the handwriting of Nancy Pelosi.
The insider told the New York Post that he feared this key Biden aide. I feared no one as much as I feared that staffer. To me, that staffer basically was the president, the person said. No one ever questioned the staffer, period, which is why every email and since we brought that up earlier, everybody on Twitter has said, Jill?
Right, yeah.
President Trump on Friday said every thing Biden signed with an auto pen could be invalid. And then he wrote it again last night. Wow. He goes, crooked Joe Biden got us into a real mess with Russia and everything else he did, frankly, but he didn't know about it, and he, generally speaking, signed it with an auto pen. So how would he know? That auto pen is a big deal. I don't know, who's doing this. When my people come up, Will Scharf and all of his people, Steve Miller, they come up, sir, this is an executive order. They explain to me, and 90% of the time I sign it. 99% of the time I say do it, but they come up and I sign it. But you don't use auto pen. Number one, it's disrespectful to the office. Number two, maybe it's not even valid because who's getting him to sign. He had no idea what the hell he was doing. If he did all these bad things, if he did, all these bad things wouldn't be happening if he knew what he was doing.
Mm-hmm. So. Right.
Well, I don't know. They
might be.
They still might have been happening.
Yeah. I don't. That thought didn't even cross my mind. No, that's.
And finally, this is a no-brainer.
Huh.
And finally, nearly 90% of Americans believe tipping is getting out of hand today.
Yeah.
Is there too much focus on tipping today at today's restaurants and an array of other outlets and venues? Americans think so. A new survey from Wallet Hub found that 9 in 10 Americans think the tipping culture has gotten out of hand, and the other 10% work in the service industry.
Exactly.
The survey acknowledged that the tipping culture has been expanding fast, going beyond the nod to waiters, bartenders, and hairdressers, and now extending to the standard checkout counter. More and more establishments where you wouldn't normally tip are asking for something extra at checkout. People are even being asked to tip self-checkout machines with no human interaction.
Yeah, the answer is no. Yeah, the answer is always no.
We need a tip jar for the show.
Yeah, we do.
Can we put it on the app? The app is free, but tips
feel free to
requestfully.
Well, yeah, but the problem is 20% of free is still zero. That's our problem. Dang it.
And the problem is, if we said, look, just pay what you think the show is worth.
Yeah.
Whew.
Oh,
pretty depressing. The end of the day,
would owe people money.
There's nothing in there.
We would.
There's nothing.
We'd be forced to pay.
There's no money.
Yeah.
Nobody even threw in $1.
Yeah. It's a negative balance. That wouldn't work at all. I vote no. Forget what we said about tipping.
866-90 Red Eye.
We'll be right back with more Red Eye Radio with Eric Harley and Gary McNamara.
It's Red Eye Radio. He's Eric Harley and I'm Gary McNamara. Where are the Trump brackets?
Yeah, he didn't give us his brackets.
I don't have my Trump bracket. Remember, we always got the Obama brackets?
Yeah.
We always look forward to the Obama brackets. There's no Trump brackets.
There's no Trump brackets.
Speaking of March Madness, I think these are the dumbest, most bogus. I don't know if they're surveys because they call it a survey. March Madness could potentially cost the U.S. economy up to $20 billion due to lost productivity. Survey finds. What do you think?
No. I think that if people are less productive because of college basketball, they're probably not productive to begin with. So I don't buy it.
A recent report from Action Network, a top sports betting and media brand, Surveyed 3,000 college basketball fans who work full-time. The study found that March Madness could cost the U.S. economy $20 billion in lost productivity.
Yeah, no, I don't buy that.
I'm sorry. It doesn't.
I don't buy that. Nope.
I worked for years, and when I was into it, I didn't even watch any basketball this weekend. I'm telling you, I don't know what happened to me in sports, but I just don't. I didn't even watch the golf from with the hole 17, the Island Green, the one. The Tournament Players Championship. Didn't even watch that. I know it's extended, I think, over till today. I think. I don't know if they finished it or not. But I used to watch it all the time when the games would start at 11 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
Had it in my office.
Yeah.
It didn't affect productivity at all.
No.
Stop it.
This is Red Eye Radio on Westwood One.